Hey guys, how are you? How was your weekend? I just wanted to jump on a meeting. Sorry, my computer just, the screen just changed on me, so I apologize. I just wanted to jump in really quick and talk to you guys. I wish that I could come talk to you, each one of you personally, after this great month that we had. But since that's not possible, then this is my next best choice. So I'm not even sure where to start. This has probably been one of the best groups that I've ever had. I've ran challenge groups now for, probably going on 21, 22 months. And each one is so unique in its own way. It's really interesting how they all are just different. And this is by far one of the best ones that I've done. I love the way that each one of you have opened up and you've been real and you have encouraged each other and cheered each other on. And it's just been powerful. And I feel like it's a blessing on my part that I've been able to witness this and be a part of it. So thank you. I hope that you all felt inspired for this group. I hope that you've been able to make changes and create habits that will continue. This is just the beginning. This is not the end. This is the beginning and a launch pad to a way of living. And I hope that you recognize this is that I know that every one of you have felt better this month. I know that you've all tried really hard. Does that mean that you've been perfect? No. And that's okay, because I've told you this many times from the beginning that perfection is not the purpose of this group. I would love to hear, I extended the group for a couple more days. I want you guys to be able to pull the recipes out of it. And I would love for each one of you to go in and make a post and let us know what this month has been like for you. Let us know your successes. Let us know where you've recognized that you're struggling, that you know you can do better and how you're going to do better. I just would love to hear what's changed for you and what has happened to you over this last month. I know it's hard to get in and just share, but I want you to know that as you share, it blesses other people's lives. It inspires other people. So don't feel like you don't have a story to share, because I promise you, you have a story to share, and your story is inspiring. So that's the last assignment that I'm going to give you guys, is to get in and share. Now the health bed is over. I honestly have no idea what the payout is going to be. Like, no clue. I don't even know when I'll hear, to tell you the honest truth, probably within the week or so. But make sure that your address is updated in your Beachbody account so that they can send a check to the right place to you. At one point I heard there were like 300,000 people participating, but I don't think that means that every person logged their Shakeology selfies and their workouts out of all those people. So I doubt that it's that high. So anyways, there's a couple things I wanted to talk to you about, and I get talking and it's hard for me to stop. But I posted about this last week, that I want to invite each one of you to my next challenge group. You are all invited to participate, whether you decide to stay on your Shakeology or not. You're all invited. Those of you who renew your Shakeology through me, then you will be eligible to work towards points like we did. I know we didn't do points this time, but there were things that you needed to do each week. And the winner will receive a $50 gift card of your choice that I'll send you. So that's what's going on in that group. We'll start next Monday. And I'm actually really excited. I'm going to start with the 3-day refresh and get started back on the 21-day fix. My life has kind of been taken over by running. And so I'm really excited to get back to my routine of working out back to a regular workout schedule. So I'll be starting that on Monday when the challenge group starts, and I would love, love, love to have you guys with me and doing it right along with me. So as you guys all know, and so many of you sent me messages and reached out to me to wish me luck on the marathon this Saturday. And it really, I don't mean this lightly, it really meant so much to me, and every word of encouragement really was what I needed. I appreciate that, and I feel like you guys are like my lifelong friends in here. You really get close when you share things like we do in here. So thank you for your encouragement. I want to tell you, and I'm going to hope to do my best to not get emotional, but there was a few things that I wanted to share with you guys that I learned in the race. And first of all, I want you to know that so much of what we did in here this month helped me get through that. There were times that I was struggling big time, and I was thinking of the reasons you guys gave that you would not give up. And time out right there. In the post that I asked you to post about, please share. Again, I know we did this at the beginning of the group, but I want to do it at the end too. And I just remembered. I've been thinking about that, and I just remembered. In sharing what you've gained this month, what you've learned, I want you to share your reason for not giving up. And it might be the same at the beginning of the month, or maybe it's changed, but please share that with us. But back to my story. When I was running, I thought of your messages that you wrote, your posts, your comments on the very first week we were together. I asked you to write why you weren't going to give up. And I want you to know I've read through those a lot of times. And those came to my mind when I was really struggling in my run. And they helped me when I thought about them. They helped me to keep going. And I also thought about our I am posts. And your posts that you wrote, I remembered them. And I was talking to myself and saying, I am capable. I am strong. I am worth it. These were all going through my mind, and they were things that you guys had written down. And I want you to know that those have stuck with me. Having you guys do those seriously had such a huge impact for me, and I hope it did the same for you. They've stuck with me, and I think about them often. And doing my race on Saturday, I ran a marathon 5 years ago, and it was great. I remember it was hard, but I don't remember it being super hard. I finished strong. I came across that finish line like I could have kept going. And some pictures posted up yesterday on my Facebook feed from, on this day in the past. You know how your Facebook pictures do that. And the pictures from my first marathon showed up, and I cried when I saw them, because 5 years ago I crossed that finish line with a huge smile on my face, and I was so proud. And it taught me that I could do anything that I wanted to do. And I probably had too good of a first marathon because this one was not the same, and it was hard. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And that may sound kind of ridiculous, but it really was. If I've done something hard, then this goes up with it. This is the ranks of the hardest thing I've ever done. And I don't know if I was just having an off day. My body physically just didn't have it. And I want you guys to know something, that the positivity that I've been able to surround my life with, from coaching, from running groups like this, from being able to be around each one of you and the different people I've been around in our challenge groups, for the last almost 2 years, from my coaching team that we're building, from personal development. Without all of that, I don't think I could have finished yesterday, because in the last 21 months, I have been able to grow in a different way. And my mom texted me yesterday, and we were texting back and forth, and she says, I don't understand why you were doubting yourself so much. And I realized something. I was like, it wasn't mentally that I was struggling. It was physically. The only reason I was able to finish that race is because of my mental strength. And I didn't realize that I had the mental strength that it took to get through that. But it was something that hit me yesterday, and physically, I was done. I was done after about 13 miles. I was physically done. And I asked myself many times, how the heck am I going to do this? But I also mentally, I cheered myself on, and everything I tell you guys, I told myself that. But what I learned is you keep going until you can't go anymore. And then you do what you can to keep going. If it's a single teeny step, if it's a crawl, whatever it is, you don't stop. And that's exactly what I did. Is I would run until I couldn't run anymore. And then I would walk until I felt like my strength was back, and then I would run. And when I couldn't run anymore, I would walk. And something that I learned is I was trying to, my friend and I who ran this together, we run together, we ran the marathon together, we run all the time together, and we run together. We don't run without each other. And it was so hard for her to leave me. When I stopped, I knew that she didn't know what to do, but I said, go, I'll catch up. And I started running and without her. And I all of a sudden felt good inside, and I could see her up ahead, but I slowed my pace down a little bit. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is my happy place. This is my happy pace. I can do this. And right in that time, I really thought about that. And I thought, sometimes we try to run faster than we actually have strength to do. And we can't keep going like that forever. Now, there's a fine line here, because I believe that we need to challenge ourselves. I really think that we can't stay where it's comfortable all the time. And so, but I also think we can't always run faster than we have strength. You've got to find that balance in there. And that's what I found, was that balance of, okay, I'm pushing myself, but I'm not running faster than I have strength. And I was in my happy place. Now, didn't stay like that, because like I said, something was off physically for me on Saturday. And, I was able to run a few miles at that, and I did great. And I really learned that lesson of, you can't run faster than you have strength. You got to push yourself. You've got to run at a pace that you can maintain while pushing yourself. And then it got hard. I didn't have the physical strength that I needed to be able to get through that, which was difficult for me, because I honestly know what it feels like to feel strong, because I know what it feels like not to feel strong. And I've gained that strength. And it doesn't mean that things aren't hard, because things are still hard. But I've been able to dig deep, and I can pull it out when I need to. And so to not be able to do that was really, really hard. Sorry, this is getting super long, and I don't mean to sit here and tell you all about me. But at the end, the last probably 4 miles, they were so difficult. And I really didn't know what I was going to do. But I knew I had to get to that finish line. And I knew I needed to listen to my body so that I didn't pass out, because I was starting to feel dizzy. I was exhausted. It was hot. And so this is where I ran until I couldn't run. And when I started to feel dizzy, I stopped, because there was no way I was getting hauled out of that race in an ambulance. I was crossing that finish line. And at the very end, when I came, those of you who have possibly been to the St. George Marathon or ran it before, you make your last left-hand turn. You're running through like this old town, St. George, or we're kind of by the temple. And I turned on that corner. When I turned left, and my watch was off a little bit, so I really didn't know how much I had left. And I saw my mom standing on the corner right there, and I saw the finish line with all the balloons, and I could not hold my emotions in anymore. And I sobbed and I sobbed. And you know how it is when you see your mom or someone that you're really close to, like your emotions just come to the surface. And that's what happened to me. And I just sobbed. And I think it probably broke my mom's poor heart, because that's the first time I had seen her at all in the race. And I looked at her and I just knew what I had been through. And I looked up at that race, at those balloons, but it was still probably 2 blocks away, maybe even 2.5. Well, it's about 2 blocks. And I just felt so overwhelmed, because I was like, it's there, I made it. But on the other hand, I was like, but it's clear up there and I still have to get up there. And I just had to dig in deep, deeper than I've ever had to dig in before, and just get across that finish line and not pass out when I got to that finish line. And, you know, and it's been mentally kind of hard for me for the last couple of days, thinking, I know I'm stronger than that. I know it. But in some ways, I feel like it was to show me that mentally, it's important to be mentally tough, and that I had to dig deep and pull out the tools that I've learned, and that they're there for a reason. So I'm sorry to ramble on about this, but I just wanted to share this with you and let you know some of the lessons that I've been able to learn, and help you understand that it is so important to take care of our bodies, our minds, and our spirits. And they all go hand in hand. All 3 of them. If you're not doing one, then the other 2 are lacking. And that doesn't mean you have to be a rock star and pump and iron and super tough and running marathons and working out for a couple hours a day. That is not what I mean. You do what you can do, but push yourself a little bit harder too. Move your body physically. Feed your spirit. Whatever you need to do to feed your spirit, do it. Feed your mind. Become mentally strong. Condition your mind. And I hope that my belief in this comes through, because I know that all 3 of those are connected. And when you have one and you have the other and you have all 3, they all come together. And the plan is that you can do anything, and you can get through hard times, and you learn to like, and not just like, but love who you are, imperfections and all. And you learn to be patient with yourself, and you learn to be nicer to yourself. And you learn that when things get tough, you can dig deep. And even if it's so hard, and there's moments that literally it is crawling or taking the teeniest little step, that you know in your heart that you can do it. I'm sorry that this has gotten so long, but I just wanted so bad to share this with you. And I hope that through what we've done this month, that you've been able to look at all aspects, not just physical, not just spiritual, not just the mental mind conditioning, but all 3 of them together. And I hope that you felt a new power within yourself, because that is what happens. That is what happens when these 3 are worked together, is you start to recognize your power that's always been there. But what happens is you start to discover it. I'm going to let you go, but I want you to know I hope that this isn't too cheesy, but this is me. This is my heart that I'm giving you. And I hope so much that something has come away with you this month, that you will continue, that even though it's Monday and we're done with our group, that it is Monday and you're drinking your shake and you're doing some personal development and you're doing your workout today, that it's going to continue. And those of you who want to hop into my next group and join and continue, keep going this week. Even if you don't, keep going this week. And let's start again next month and do this and continue on together. Thank you. Thank you for trusting me to join in with me this month. And thank you for hanging in there and watching this whole video. And love you all, and we'll be in touch.